This is the type of story that you never go into a day anticipating covering. Hell, I was going to do a recap on the Gwyneth Paltrow stuff here and the fact that she's making a total meme of herself, but this right here, this is going to sound terrible the way that I was initially going to phrase it. If there was any time, especially with the other videos that are coming out today that I have on the channel right here, the subject matter here it's appropriate because there really is a through line when it comes to all of this stuff. Mental illness right at the bottom of it. This has nothing to do with guns. This has nothing, even still, it really doesn't have much to do with the person who shot this place up is a woman who's a man or something like that. So it's just kind of this weird cross section where you have a female mass shooter who identifies and has transitioned over to be a man, I guess, in some form or fashion. So what are the powers that be going to attack on this one? Is it a white man who decided to shoot up a private school? A 28-year-old going in, killing 7, wounding another 3. That's what it is right now. So is it the white guy's problem? That's possible. That's of course possible. Is it the guns? Well, of course, you know that they're always going to directly go for the guns. Are they just going to cover it all up? Well, that's what USA Today is trying to do with this tweet that they just released. Police on Monday afternoon said that the shooter was a transgender man. Officials had initially misidentified the gender of the shooter. That's what we're concerned about, right? Yeah. Just once again, man, just big old fucking psyops going on right now. Because man, why? This is horrific. This is legitimately to drag out another old axiom. This is every parent's worst nightmare, something terrible to happen at a school. And this wasn't like a public school or anything like that. This was a Christian academy, which there's so many societal implications when it comes to this entire story. And like I said, there's some issues that really do need discussing. So the fact that this hits everything it's an appropriate avenue to bring up these very delicate topics because, well, now we got a case study. As much as the media doesn't want to touch this with a 45-foot pole, but if that pole decided to transition over to being a shorter pole or a longer pole, or hell, get another pole attachment, then we might have something to talk about. Nashville police, sorry. Yes, this happened in Nashville, Tennessee, of all places. That's one of those, okay, of all of the different shooters ever since Biden assumed office in 2021 to come out, because we've had one in Georgia, okay, that was the hashtag stop Asian hate stuff, until the Asian hate continued to go on, but nobody wanted to touch that because who's committing all the Asian hate? Yeah, no, exactly. The less said about that, the better, of course. Ethan Crumbly, the kid who shot up the Michigan high school, and I think I've seen something. I'd have to go back and take a look at it. It looks like Michigan's become an even larger shithole for the fact that they, to some extent, ended up finding the parents culpable. I'd have to go back and check because that just sounds absolutely fucking absurd. The one in Colorado with the Mexican man, I think he was Mexican or something like that. But there's been a whole host of different, oh yeah, and then the couple of fucking weirdos that were, the one that was in Buffalo, and then you had the guy that was in, the big fat dude who was down there in the subways in New York City. Like, there's been a whole host of them, and those are the ones that just immediately come directly to mind. But this one's special because there's another story and there's another article that I've seen that this is only the 8th or the 28th female mass shooter, whatever classifies as a mass shooter. Depending on the state, it's 4 casualties. It doesn't involve deaths or anything like that. It's just people that are hit at the same event. And it's all still horrific because it's a bunch of kids, man. It's like, realistically, at the bottom of this, there's a bunch of dead kids, and everybody's just going to try to push their agenda. And Democrats are going to do the whole, we need to take away all the guns. We'll get to that very shortly, but, you know, hey, they always want to talk about, we need to have a discussion about mental illness. Are we going to have that? Probably not off the back of this one, because it also involves another one of your pet projects, but we'll get to that. Nashville police revealed a 28-year-old who shot and killed 6 people. I've seen the update. It's 7 and 3 right now. Okay. At the Covenant School, including 3 children, identifies as a transgendered and had detailed manifesto by attack. to attack the Christian Academy. Officials said Audrey Hale, a former student, 28 years old, and these are grade school kids. Like, this is just fucking horrific. Okay, entered the school Monday morning by shooting through a door on the side of the building. While inside, Hale killed Evelyn Dykehouse, no offense, Haley Scruggs, and William Kinney, all aged 9. Oh, for fuck's sakes. As well as custodian Mike Hill, substitute teacher Cynthia Peak, both 61. On the school head, Catherine Kuntz, 60. Following the shooting, Hale was killed. Hey, at least there's a little bit of a, bright side to this. Because, okay, while there is some dispute as to the gender of this individual, eventually when you see the skeleton, that's a woman. When they encountered officers on the second floor by 10:27 a.m., 4 minutes into the shooting. Hey, better turnaround time than... What was that Texas one? Oh, right, I missed that one. That was the one that instigated all of the gun laws up here in Canada. Shit was so fucking stupid. You ever get to the bottom of what happened with those police officers? Oh, we need to take away all the guns. No, we should probably take a look at police reform. Shut up! Oh, okay, cool. Police said Hale was equipped with at least 2 assault rifles and a handgun, and in searching her family home in Nashville. Why are you engaging in her fucking insanity? This is a mass shooter. This is a murderer, and you're still honoring the mental illness? Get the fuck out of here. Officers found detailed maps and a manifesto of the attack. We have a manifesto. We have some writings that we're going over that pertain to this day. Nashville Chief John Drake said about his discovery. He added that Hale was prepared to do more harm than was actually done. Yeah, if he had 2 straps and a side piece as well, theoretically more mags, and as morose as this sound, pretty easy targets. That's a fantastic response time. And big shout out to the police department for responding to that so quickly. Drake said the police are looking into whether Hale's identity as a trans person played into the role of the deadly shooting. They're never going to say that. They will never fucking say that. But I think we have a pretty good talking point to assess afterwards because, well, the White House isn't going to talk about it. In fact, Biden's not going to make a coherent sentence at all. Like, this motherfucker, man, he is so done. Like, he's on death's door. Like, let's just call it exactly like we see it, okay? You might have thought that some of my comments or some of my phrasing might have been a little off color to begin with. Sorry, life sucks, wear a helmet. But at least I'm not getting up to the podium as the most important man, the leader of the free fucking world, and asking where the ice cream's at, saying, I only showed up here because I heard that there was a chocolate chip ice cream. Oh, sorry, I know it's a dark time and stuff. Biden makes ice cream joke in first statement since Nashville shooting, and it even gets worse from there because what's their response to the same one that they always make? Biden joked Monday that he only showed up to a White House event because he heard that there would be ice cream before addressing the horrific mass shooting that left 6 dead at the Nashville elementary school hours earlier. So this wasn't like, oh, okay, news broke while he was up at the podium, but no, he had all of this planned. My name is Joe Biden. I'm Dr. Jill Biden's husband. Is that what it says on that card that you're supposed to hand out to anybody that finds you after you wander outside of your nursing home? The 80-year-old president. I read that on a fairly consistent basis, and it's still just as troubling as it's ever been. Began his remarks at the East Room gathering of women-owned businesses. Holy fucking shit! Oh, and I eat Jenny's ice cream. Who the fuck is Jenny? Oh my god, chocolate chip. I came down because I heard that you bitches like to cook. By the way, I have a whole refrigerator upstairs. You think I'm kidding? I'm not. The president then turned serious to address the shooting. Yes, like every other dementia-riddled fuck, you can just change emotions on a dime because he's not all there. In which 3 students and 3 staff members were killed, calling it sick and the family's worst nightmare before demanding once again that Congress pass a ban on assault weapons. What is an assault weapon? Joe, can you tell us? a weapon of war, or what other flowery fucking language where you're never going to get down to the actual problem are you going to address? But hey, if you were just going to be honest about it, just you want to take away all of the guns and then just make sure that your law enforcement has them so that you can more thoroughly enforce. I wouldn't even say it's probably your tyranny at this point in time, but your party's tyranny. Whoever ultimately is writing your scripts and pushing the policy forward, they want that. You're just the empty figurehead that is rambling and making an asshole out of himself. But you don't want to address the fact that, yeah, if, I don't know, maybe there was a security guard because there was a janitor that got shot up. If he didn't pull out the strap and, you know what, take care of business right there, maybe the good guy with the gun could have taken care of the bad tranny with a gun. Can we have that conversation? No. That's of course not. No, we just need to get rid of guns, okay? Because situations like this, no, that's just that. It's non sequitur, okay? You can't compare two disparate events, like a Georgia homeowner shoots and kills intruder trying to break into his house at dawn as neighbors call over the cops hearing shots ring out over breakfast. No. People defending the place that they frequent with a firearm, shit like that doesn't happen at all. No. We just need to ban all the firearms. Ban all the firearms, of course, because it's not like people get stabbed or anything. Oh, a staffer for you. This is just breaking, by the way. U.S. Senator Rand Paul was stabbed multiple times with a knife in broad daylight. What the fuck is with Rand Paul? Bro, like, this dude has been attacked on the regular. And why? Is this like a big Fauci supporter or some shit like that pulling up? Okay, but there's also another thing. A trans day of vengeance. It's so funny. They want to attack Trump for saying we need to fight like hell. Excuse me, we've got to fight like hell, otherwise we won't have a country anymore. But they can continue the other side of this conversation. They can go out there and have a day of vengeance, days of rage to stop a trans genocide. Use all of the inflammatory language that's out there, and then you have the Republic cucks that are out there just saying, "Oh, we need to stop ratcheting up the rhetoric. It's just only making more violence that's going to be out there." If you aren't firing a counteroffensive, you are continuously, systemically, over and over losing the fucking battle, because guess what? They're bringing it right to your door. And if you want to continue to fight the honorable battle, you will continually, let's get the phrasing right, continuously get your ass kicked in over and over and over again. And now we're entering into a point in time where they're going to kick your ass, and then they're going to do other things to it because we know what the fuck they're on about. Yeah, man, just going back to this for a second, and then shout out to that meme right there. Yeah, give up your guns or we'll shoot your kids. Yeah, it all seems about right, man. And somebody stabbed, okay, because you take a look. UK, mostly like zero gun crime outside of, every once in a while there's one story that pops up. But what else is out there? Rampant fucking knife violence. Chefing is a term for a reason over there, because guess what? People can just walk up and get stabbed multiple fucking times over and over and over again before you can respond to anything. At least with a gun, there's a big noise. But if you walk up to somebody, you're just walking down the street, all of a sudden you can just pull out a knife, and just a couple of times, once or twice in the kidneys and the liver, anywhere in the soft midsection right there, you can just go ahead and end some lives without anybody even fucking noticing. You think that society's going to be better that way? Once you take all the guns, what are you going to do? Start confiscating all the knives, and then eventually we're going to just go back to hitting people over the head with bricks? You're not addressing the root cause. You're confusing kids. You are just making them all mentally fucked in the head, because you take a look at this shit, okay? A record number of U.S. adults identify as LGBTQ. Gen Z is driving this increase. And I heard this, and I shouted it out previous video. Which one was that? I think it was probably the woke grab bag of stuff that we talked about yesterday. Fresh and Fit hosted a roundtable in Las Vegas, and I heard Aaron Cleary bring this up, and I had to check it just to make sure. And again, just A very diabolical confluence of events brings up this topic right here. Check this out. This year's record high. Now, these are numbers from 2021, by the way. 2021. A record high includes 21% of Gen Zers who have reached adulthood, which Gallup defines as those born between 97 and 2003, and making them the generational group with the largest proportion of LGBTQ people. 21% of Gen Zers identify as being on the big gay spectrum. Can you fucking believe that? Do you think, in any point in time, do you think that that is actually the case? Or do you think that this is years and years, decades and decades of these fucking ideologues honing and crafting their mindfuck that they've put out there so successfully on generation after generation after generation? What's the solution, man? What's the solution? We can see that there's actually a problem. And like I said, the way that the videos were released today, it's kind of interesting, because the first one that I dropped here today, it was all about BC decriminalizing hard drugs and stuff. And boy, there was a really good conversation between a couple of cats. One of my old school, like that guy was around. You'd have to fact check me on this one, Morty, but you've been around for probably since I was in double digits when it comes to subs. Like, he's old school. He's been around for a hot second. And he brings up a good point, okay? You know what? Hey, it was supposed to be a free society. The hard drug decriminalization, I'm crudely summarizing your side of the argument. I responded, but you guys were going back and forth. I normally wouldn't click on it, but I just seen the fact that the comment section was blowing up disproportionate to the amount of views that were on there, and I just thought that it was a bot that hopped in. But you guys were having a really detailed back and forth conversation. I love to see that in the comment section. Just some high IQ individuals sussing some stuff out. But we know hard drugs are fucking terrible. We know, on a balance of probabilities, if somebody wants to inject heroin, do some meth, smoke some crack, that's not going to end up well for them. Sure, there are some highly successful social crack smokers. Take a look at Rob Ford. Didn't live all that long, but hey, man, he enjoyed the party on the way out. The understanding that, well, having the government come in and say what you can and cannot do with your body is probably not the best course of action. I would agree. But then at the same time, you take a look at what happens in the aftermath. You take a look at other places that have dropped those exact same policies on their population. Do you think Portland, do you think Seattle are in a better shape after decriminalizing all of the hard drugs? Take a look at what's going on, man. Homeless people in the gutters, ass out, shitting directly into the sewer. I've seen the videos. For obvious reasons, I can't show them, but they were all over social media when they were going through at the time. Fucking disgusting. Homeless populations skyrocketing through the roof. Do you think there's a point in time for the furtherance of society where you take a look at hard drugs and you start to go, it's probably not the best for things? And now you can use that situation and you can extrapolate it out to this stuff as well. Covered this yesterday when it came to the Uganda situation. Do you think that they're going to have a transgender mass shooter roll through any of their schools? I'm just saying, man, what you do in your own time is your own problem. I'm not here to morally police you. Me personally, I don't give a fuck. When you're doing this stuff day after day after day, you start to see a pattern. You start to see mental illness at the bottom of so much of this shit, okay? And there is very few places that hasn't been infiltrated when it comes to this, because in doing research for this, I found this story. And if you think that, oh, I'll just send my kid to a Christian school, you know, like the one that just got shot up, nearly 40% of U.S. Gen Zers, 30% of young Christians identify as on the big gay spectrum. It's literally not safe anywhere. What are we going to do with that? They don't want to have the conversations about this. The government doesn't want to have the conversations about that because it's just all about compassion. It's just all about feelings. What was the event that Biden was at today? Celebrating female-owned businesses. It's placating to their base. And what is their base? Well, it's all based on emotions for them. All they do is vote their feelings. You just need to be kind and compassionate to people. Now, what is there? Kindness and compassion. Meanwhile, you might have a private stance when it comes to some stuff. You and I, we're not going to be doing hard drugs. I don't think anybody's watching this while they're just tying up in order to shoot up. Chances are that's not going to happen. And if you are, I don't know what crossroads you are at in your life if you're listening to my voice at this point in time where you're trying to get high. Interesting way that you live your life. I wouldn't recommend it at all whatsoever, but I know it's become more prevalent now than it has in any point in history. I've been trying to find a terminology in order to classify my beliefs into the greater society. Well, I could be like, everybody else that's out there, oh, I don't like labels and classifications. Yeah, that's all nice. It's along the exact same lines of, I don't see race. And it's like, yeah, okay. You understand it. You don't act on it and you don't give people, disproportionate treatment based on the color of their skin. You judge or work with people on the content of their character. I know, wild thought, really breaking the glass ceiling, fucking breaking ground on that topic, but I think I've settled. I think I've settled on the term, and feel free to use it if you like. Conventional conservative. I think that might work, okay? Because you talk about tradcons, no, okay? But conventional conservatism, the shit that works while evolving with the times, the fundamentals that I would agree with when it comes to the tradcons, as well as also recognizing that we have a new order. We have a new order of problems that are going on right now, and your 1950 solutions to a 2023 problem is not going to fucking cut it. If you think by wifing up these hoes and then just putting a baby in her is going to make her fly right after she's had 60 bodies, yeah, I don't fucking think so, dude. That wasn't a problem. That would not happen. There'd be that one chick that was running around the city just fucking everybody at the point in time. She was the secretary at the fucking William Morris firm. But now, shit like that is so fucking common. You can't have those old school problems, or you can't have those old school solutions and think that they're going to go ahead and fix new order problems. It's not going to fly anymore. That's why by enforcing your conservative boundaries and understanding the problems of the day, directly addressing, getting to the root cause of this stuff, and taking an active role in your children, in your friends, in your family's lives, in order to make sure that they don't fall victim to this societal-wide propaganda. Because I don't have any kids. I don't know anybody. I might know somebody down in Nashville. Hell, there might even be somebody watching this right now that is from that area. And my total sympathies do go down to those people that have been affected by the entire community. That shit is. I'm glad that they got the shooter. That's about as far as I want to go on that. But there's going to be another shooting, man. Like, this shit is going to continue to go on. Even if they do take all the guns. There'll be an IED attack. There'll be a big knife stabbing event. Okay, this shit is systemic because crazy fuckers are going to do crazy shit in perpetuity regardless of the methods. And the politicians are going to offer their same solutions, never go anywhere on them, use them as a campaign or talking point wherever they're up for re-election again. So then that leaves it directly on you and me. What's my solution to this? We need to have a conversation about actual mental health. We need to discuss what all of this pervasive propaganda is actually doing on people. The fact that there's so many sedations. The fact that you're glorifying mediocrity. You're telling somebody that they're special because they feel a certain way because, oh, today you're pansexual and that makes me a unique snowflake and a special individual. And because I feel that way, well, maybe tomorrow I'm asexual because my stars and my moon and my rising are all in Mars and Uranus. That's just how I feel today. We have devolved so far from any sort of rationality that we might have had in the past, and we are now firmly entrenched in an emotional reality. That's the real problem at the bottom of this. And then, of course, the government and corporations don't want to get too lofty on any of this shit. We'll be wrapping up real shortly. They have effectively monetized outrage. Outrage on the attack on the trans community, attack on the desire to take away all the guns. You know who's going to actually benefit off of this horrific tragedy? All of the gun manufacturers. Because guess what? There's going to be a whole push right now for more gun control. And what does that always lead to? Increased sales in firearms. And the LGBTQ, whatever the fuck else at the end of that, they're going to go out there and stump. This is not emblematic of our population. It's going to be the same apologia over and over and over again. You want a more concrete solution when it comes to this stuff? Move away from discussing low-level shit like this so fucking often. What you do in the confines of your own bedroom, okay? What two consenting adults do in the privacy of their bedroom, that doesn't need to be your defining characteristic. Like, I don't walk around going, I'm a choke and slap sexual. I don't fucking think so. That shit is so fucking stupid. But that's all. That is all that is discussed. That's by adopting something that can't be confirmed or denied, it makes you special. It makes you unique. And the worship of individuality with no work at all whatsoever, and chastising anybody who has actually achieved something that is a merit-based endeavor. That's the real problem at the bottom of this. Prioritizing feelings over empiricism. When that sleight of hand occurred, probably about the mid-90s. Now we're living in that fully realized worldview. Now that the first generation that grew up in a broken home and now have children that have grown up in a broken home only know how to live in that reality, now they're acting out. Now they're doing exactly the only thing that they've known. And that's why shit like this is going to continue to happen time and time and time again. That's normally where I'd end the video, right there. You know, that was a pretty good way to end it, but I got a little bit of housekeeping. It wasn't really appropriate to, front load the video with all of this stuff. So that's why I saved it to the end, okay? Like, come on now. I'm not that heartless. I'm pretty heartless, but hey man, it's all good. It's all good. I've just been noticing something in the background a little bit, and I don't like to do this at all whatsoever, okay? And I know that I've had to bring up a couple of different channel-specific topics recently, like Rumble. Rumble's perfect, man. The views are going up and all that stuff. People continuously find the content that's over there, so if you're watching this over there, shout out to you. You are definitely an OG, and we'll be streaming on Saturday over there as well as over here on YouTube as well. So yeah, we'll make sure that we cover all of the bases. But then watching and taking a look at the analytics when it comes to YouTube, everything's great, okay? Views are staying consistent, and hell, even the base level is getting brought up every once in a while. Specific topics, they just don't fucking manifest. And that's totally fine, man. I'm super happy with, not having to talk about Justin Trudeau on a consistent basis. I consider that a W. If that topic bombs, that's totally fine. The motherfucker's corrupt, and then the next time that I have to talk about him is when he's getting perp walked out of the parliament. That'll be a good goddamn day. But until then, I understand, some things don't hit like that. So, you know what, hey, because I am but a vessel for the people that is out there, okay? If you guys don't like it, I don't need to talk about it. But when I take a look at the other metrics that are on there, views, base level views are going up. Okay, and then even recently, like, you get double, triple, quadruple, some of them, get into the thousands of views. Everything's going great. Like, for the 48 hour, for the 7 days, for the month, the views have consistently gone up. Interaction, like likes on videos, that continues to go up time and time and time again. And it's all fantastic. And comments, even though that I mentioned it earlier, it's like, I don't ask for any of that additional interaction. So everything that I'm seeing there is like overwhelmingly positive, and you guys are liking the direction of the channel, which I'm incredibly thankful for. And thank you all very, very much. And I'm being 100% sincere when it comes to that. But then I've also noticed like subscriptions, and oh my God, like this really does feel dirty doing this, but make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, okay? Like, I'm not calling for subs or anything like that, but I've noticed something. Over the past couple of weeks or so. Like, I'll take a look at my analytics first thing in the morning, make sure that everything's fine, that I haven't gotten yeeted off of the platform. Is a little bit goofy every once in a while, but I take a look and it's like subscriptions are down, and it's like, oh shit, did something not hit like that? And then I take a look at everything and it's like, no, views are good, interactions good. People are just fed up or something like that, but then it'll just go back up. Okay, so yeah, the subscription number, or the numbers, then they'll jump back up like midday or through the end of the day, and then the cycle is just going to continue. And then every once in a while you'll just get, I'll just get a big burst of like 10 to 15 subscribers, and it's like, the fuck is actually going on? So just make sure that you're subscribed. If you've ever subscribed to my channel, I'm not pushing you to do anything. I'm just glad that people show up. But if you've been subscribed before, make sure that you are actually subscribed and that YouTube's not doing some goofy shit, because I'm noticing some weird stuff going on in the background, especially when I'm trying to schedule the different videos to make sure that they go out on time, or, take a look at monetization, because I could be doing a fucking puppy review, not like Jerry the King Lawler, puppies, but like little fucking dogs, and that shit's just going to get, even if I'm 100% clean throughout the entire video, it's just going to get demonetized. Give it a couple days and it's like, oh yeah, it's actually suitable for all audiences. Yeah, no shit. The only thing that I do is say fucking shit and piss every once in a while, but most of the content is all well and good. It's just my voice. It's me reading articles, adding additional context on things that I think is pertinent and that the audience would appreciate. I don't know why you want to demonetize me like that, but it's a little demoralizing. And you know what? Hey, I'm ultimately looking to make this an incredibly successful endeavor so that I could just grow it into a media empire that I see is very much lacking in the entire sphere, because I don't see anybody who's like of my mindset doing daily content and really filling the space when it comes to everything that you see above me: news, politics, relationships, sports, popular culture. There's just only so much space that you can put on a banner. And yeah, ultimately put some people on, build out a studio. I've got lofty dreams and lofty hopes, but it all resides if I'm still a potent delivery method for the people. So just do me that favor. Make sure, if you've ever been subscribed, that you're still subscribed, because I've seen YouTube do some really goofy ass shit here recently. So hey, just do me a solid on that one, okay? And if not, well, we'll catch you tomorrow, hopefully with some more uplifting shit, because yeah, we talked about hard drugs, Michigan falling into the absolute pits, and now we got to talk about dead kids. Fucking shit sucks sometimes now, doesn't it? But guess what? Hey man, I know it's all dark and shit, but as a wise man once say, no bad days. There's just bad little events that can sprinkle out throughout your day, but no such thing as a bad day. Sun will always rise in the west. If you're looking in the wrong direction, it'll rise in the east and set in the west, right? Holy fuck, I've been nattering for too long. Yeah, rises in the east, sets in the west. Content brain. Every once in a while, you just have a big fucking brain fart. It was like during the stream when I couldn't remember what PC stood for. Personal computer. Politically correct, you asshole. But hey, man, sometimes, your mind fucks up. So, yeah. No bad days. Sun rises in the east and sets in the west. And if it doesn't, well, guess what? Hey, we won't have to look forward to any bad days into the future. So, with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.